So we have two cases to deal with today. The state of Texas versus Trevor Dustin Bird. In cause number 22-40978, there is a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation. And in 25CR430, the defendant has a new indictment of assault of a family member. And the parties are present. Are we ready to proceed, Ms. Coffin, on behalf of the defendant and the state? And the defendant is present. Does the defendant waive formal readings of the motion to revoke unadjudicated probation in 40978 and the new indictment in 25CR430? Can we proceed in summary?
Sure.
In this motion to revoke unadjudicated probation, Mr. Bird, raise your hand. You solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make during this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help.
All right, let's break this down. Mr. Berg is on deferred probation, meaning his conviction was basically paused. But now that he violated it by allegedly assaulting someone again, that deal's on the chopping block. Would you take a second chance seriously if the alternative was jail time?
Help you die. Yes, sir. In summary, this motion to revoke probation states that on September 14, 2023, in this court, you were placed on 2 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for assault on a family member, which was a lesser included Class A misdemeanor. Is all of that true, sir? Yes. Allegation 1 states that you committed the offense of assault of a family member causing bodily injury on or about March 13, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, in violation of Condition 1 of your deferred adjudication order, and that Condition 1 states you shall not commit an offense while on probation. And this allegation, by the way, coincides with the new indictment in 25CR430. Do you understand what you're charged with here, sir?
Yes, sir.
Is this allegation true or untrue?
He just pled true, and in Texas, that's all it takes to revoke probation. The judge can now sentence him up to the full penalty. No more leniency. This isn't just a mistake. It's a legal knockout. Do you think judges should be this strict when someone breaks probation? Terms.
Oh, that's true, is it?
Do you need any additional time?
No, sir.
Consulting? Are you pleading true voluntarily and because it is true as it is alleged?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that a voluntary and knowingly made plea of true to one or more violations of probation, that's all it takes to grant a motion to revoke probation? Your probation can now be revoked and you can be sentenced up to the full range of punishment, which is in this case up to 1 year in the county jail. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today?
Yes, sir.
I find you are pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true on this. What's the agreement on this?
Can to a lesser included Class A assault, 1 year county jail, and then there's a case who's getting deferred.
So let's just take them up one at a time. The agreement has been reached is that your probation would be revoked here in this 40978. You would be found guilty of this Class A misdemeanor of assault, family of violence, and sentenced to 1 year in the county jail. Is that your understanding of the plan?
Yes, Your Honor. In addition, it's going to run concurrent to the time on the year.
Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It shows you it's marked with State Exhibit 1. I'm going to ask you. Did you sign that document, understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents all true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence and without objection.
Yes, Your Honor.
Admitted. Among other things, State's Exhibit 1 states, sir, that you are waiving all rights of appeal if I follow this agreement, which I'm going to do. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then, if nothing further, I'm going to follow this agreement, and I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence supporting this motion to revoke unadjudicated probation in cause number 22-40978 to grant it by preponderance of the evidence or greater. Thus, your deferred or unadjudicated probation in that Class A misdemeanor of assault, bodily injury, causing bodily injury to a family member, is revoked. And I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the county jail for a term of 1 year. And that will conclude that case, and you will be given credit for all time you have served in accordance with that sentence. Do you understand what has happened?
And there it is, 1 year in the county jail. Official. But here's where it gets more serious. The judge isn't just handing out time. He's about to deliver a major reality check. Stick around. The next part is where it gets emotionally charged.
So, now we go to 25 CR 430. And in summary, this indictment states that on or about March 13, 2025, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed third-degree felony of assault on a family member. Do you understand what you're charged with here, sir?
Yes, sir.
And this is the same victim as in the motion to revoke probation and in that preceding case where you were placed on probation back in 23, correct? Yes. You're facing a third-degree felony in this case, which means you are looking at a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
An agreement has been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty, placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation, which can be up to 10 years in length. Fined $1,000. There would be other terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So how do you plead in this case to this allegation in this indictment? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 in this case. Did you sign that document voluntarily? Did you understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents all true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence in this case without objection.
Yes, sir.
Admitted. Among other things, this states you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You are giving up your rights to a jury trial and rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You're totally satisfied with the representation provided by your attorney. All of this is true, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. Is a pre-sentence report read?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Birds, let me ask you something. Do you have trouble figuring out how you're supposed to act responsibly with other people?
This is no longer just legal, it's moral. The judge delivers a verbal beatdown over domestic violence. This isn't about sentencing anymore. It's about whether Berg even understands what love and commitment mean. Would you let this man back out on probation after what you just heard?
For example, the person you pledged your love to, your wife, here. I'm asking you a question, sir. This is the second assault before me. Let's see, you choked her the first time that you were placed on probation. Thereafter, then you kick her now while you're on probation. Is the love of your life simply reduced to a punching bag? Or do you have any sense of decency and respect to the commitment that you made when you married the lady? I'm talking to you. Don't act like you're in a stupor, because I'm going to decide whether you need to go to trial or not, which I'm thinking about, letting the jury decide. And I can tell you what they do in this county. They don't put up with this. First of all, you don't strike other people, much less a lady that you pledged your love to. Is that too hard to understand? So what is the problem? You're back here again. What?
Oh,
Well, I've never done such a thing. I wouldn't even think of it. I wouldn't think a decent person would. But if you're going to fight somebody, why don't you fight a man? Or you think a girl is the kind of a lady you pledge your love to. They're the punching bag. Sir, you choked the lady one time and then you kicked her in the side the second time. Do you see anything wrong with that? We made a big deal about it by putting you on probation. In fact, you went from really a felony to a misdemeanor. You were charged with a felony here at the beginning. It was a third-degree felony. I'm worried about your attorney is asking to put you on probation. The last time we did that didn't turn out too well for his wife. What's the relationship y'all have now? Are you going back to live with him?
No, sir.
Okay. Do y'all have a divorce or something?
We do. That's one divorce.
The complainant's divorce attorney was present with her in the courtroom when this was all being signed earlier.
The people I know, most of the people, the overwhelming percentage of the people in the world think the way I'm speaking. You don't mistreat another person, much less a lady, a woman. You know, pick on somebody like, who's got a fair fight, not a girl. We used to make jokes about people who would do that. Well, that's just low. That's low. Pick on somebody else like a man if you've got a fight, which is irresponsible behavior in the first place. How long were y'all married?
We've been together almost 10
How long were you married?
since 2017.
And children? You have children?
We have children.
Yeah, that's good role modeling. I'm saying that facetiously. That's terrible role modeling. You think your children are going to act any differently than you? You're setting a bad example. Do you agree with me with this, or do you think I'm out of line in speaking this way?
No.
Do you disagree with me, or do you agree with me what I'm saying about the principles of life that should be followed?
I agree with you.
Okay. So what are you going to do about it?
Change everything about the entire situation.
Yes, sir. All right. I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt because you have pleaded guilty voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, because you were guilty. However, I'm going to follow this agreement, place you on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years.
10 years in prison, that's the shadow hanging over this deal. Berg is being given another chance, but this time, with strict terms, no contact with the victim, anger management, and parenting classes. Is that justice or too soft? Drop your take in the comments.
You must pay a fine of $1,000. There will be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. And there will be, we will target what seems to be your problem that causes you to beat up on girls and others in generally. There will be a battery intervention and prevention program, which is normal and customary for this type of offense, and a parenting class you must complete, along with other terms and conditions of probation, which include having no contact with the victim of this offense, which I guess is going to be, you better be careful about this because you're going to be sharing the child, right?
That's the goal.
And there are going to be times when you're going to have to interact with the victim.
They have a way of a third-party intervening.
Yeah, you're going to interact with them, I guess, through a third party. But that's futile. But what I'm worried about is half the population of the planet who happen to be women.
June.
Right. Thank you.
Because this is, I see this from time to time. You're not the first person who's been before the court who has assaulted women, but it's absolutely not acceptable, and it's offensive, and it's illegal. But it also has many other aspects to it. It's bad role modeling for the child, because children are going to emulate what their parents do, in spite of the fact that parents make foolish mistakes sometimes. And you don't want your child beating up on girls, do you? I'm very sensitive about this, because you're supposed to. Were you formally married? Was it a ceremonious marriage? Ceremonial?
In Mexico, yes, sir.
Was it a priest or somebody?
It was, and he didn't speak English.
So you didn't even know what was said?
I did not.
Okay. But it was your choice to enter into a marriage in Mexico, knowing that
Yes, sir.
sort of thing could happen. Well, nonetheless, you had to know that you made a pledge, a promise, and that was to treat her like someone you love, and you didn't. You have to do better. If you fail on probation, here your probation can be revoked, can be found guilty, and sentenced up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
In terms of front recommendation for 90 days up front, still time as a condition of
How
probation.
long has he been in jail?
Not sure.
How long?
I'm with the judge.
I need to know that. How long have you been in jail? You know better than anybody.
About 4 weeks, but
Oh, okay.
I turned myself in a couple of times on this.
You get credit for all time you served in accordance with this case.
This last time he was in there for 19 days.
I know, but what's the total that he's credited for?
I had to turn myself in like 3 times. Stayed
21 days.
21 total, including this 19. They're only showing 21 days. Anyway, you've got that, plus we've got on the order, on the probation order. Let me sit down.
Your Honor. They already showed it to me.
Where'd she go?
I don't know.
Okay, was there an agreement that there would be a condition of? Are y'all agreed on that?
90 days was a joint recommendation about.
Okay. As a condition of probation, sir, you must serve 90 days in the county jail. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And that will have to be done.
You'd ask for it to be concurrent.
What do y'all say?
There was no objection to Mr. Ham. That was his case.
Okay, then it's done. And I'm not sure how they do the Class A misdemeanor time, but it shall run concurrently as requested. Anything? You understand what has happened today, sir?
Yes, sir.
You understand the sensitivity that we all have. We all have. And we're all sharing this. You don't assault another person. Because if you assault people like this who you pledged your love to, what would you do to someone you didn't know? And you didn't have a pledge of love for. It's hard to fathom what extreme you could go through if you lose your composure and decide to assault somebody that you didn't pledge your love to. If you act this way to someone who you did say you cared for. I can't even imagine. This is so beyond, again, contrary to the way I grew up, to what I believe in, and I think which is normal behavior. You don't harm others. Live honestly. Harm no one.
Live honestly, harm no one, give each person respect. That's the judge's mic drop. Sometimes the courtroom doesn't need a gavel, just a hard truth that hits harder than any sentence. Do you think those 3 rules are enough to guide society, or are we too far gone?
Give each person respect. Those are the 3 principles of all law. We have these big old thick books that are like this, but all 3 of those are in this. We can make it real short because all laws have 1, 2, or all 3 of those principles behind it. But we like to print a lot of paper and be detailed, but they all conclude that, which you broke in this case. Those 3 principles. Fix that. That is all. Please see the probation officer. Thank you.
Need a fingerprint or both like the judge is giving you credit for the 21 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Here real quick. Do you want to